I'm Zach Starr, that's Gavin Tony, and this is Phillies Pregame Live. It's that time of the year again. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the More Than Phillies Sports Network. This is a special day for us here on the More Than Phillies Sports Network. The reason being, it is the second full season that we will be covering in a sport. This is the only sport of that, of course. We did cover the NBA later in the season, post-hiatus, and the NHL, and they've since rebooted this year. But we covered this season on this show last year from the beginning to the end, and we're doing the same this year. 162 games. It is 41 degrees out. It is snowing in the Detroit Tigers game right now. They're actually winning. The Blue Jays are beating the Yankees. We have a lot of exciting news coming up on tap. We have the Atlanta Braves traveling to Philadelphia to play against the Philadelphia Phillies. Max Fried against Aaron Nola. I'm excited to break it all down. As always, doing alongside my co-host, Gavin Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy it while it lasts. The Phillies are 500 right now. I am excited for it. I am ready for this season to get underway, and I feel confident about this team. I've been defending them all offseason, saying that they've been fine. Simply put, retaining the players they have is good enough, but how good will that really be? Gavin, I'll bring you in now, get some of your thoughts on it, and, of course, what we expect for today as we go through the lineups, we go through the betting lines, as we like to do with the Sixers as well.
First of all, Zach, I had an eventful morning, all right? We're not going to get into that. It has nothing to do with what the show's talking about. Maybe we'll get into that at the end. But listen, Zach, you've been screaming, they've been fine, they're fine. Meanwhile, I've been preaching they need more because, Zach, you're going to need more. You saw what the Mets did over I want to say summertime, over the usual break. They got a new ownership. They brought in pieces that were able to maybe help them win. All right, they brought in Francisco Lindor and a couple others. Zach, everybody in our division got better. The Braves, remember, Zach, they were one win away from going to the World Series. You got the 2 years removed or a year removed defending World Series champs in Washington, who injury, kind of tore this season last year. And then you have the Miami Marlins. Last year, the Marlins, Zach, I said a lot last year, in a 60-game season where teams that only win 60 to 40 games a year, that was easy for them. All you got to do is win 30 games or half of that you normally win a year. Zach, that's why the Marlins were great last year. Now, I'm not trying to take away anything from them because
made the playoffs, yeah, but they were taken care of by the Braves in that first round.
Exactly. So, Zach, I don't know. But the Phillies, I'm excited, Zach. They're not below 500 yet. So I guess I can celebrate today. So let's get after it.
Look, I'm excited. It's always great to have baseball back. We have a friend of ours that we know that told us just baseball. It's just great to be back. It's getting warmer outside. It's been excellent in the past. Of course, opening day is always exciting across the entire league. Even though we are sports, we are Phillies fans. All around baseball, it's always fun to watch and enjoy. And it's simply put, it's because we do enjoy it. I at least always find pleasure in watching Phillies baseball, even though it does get frustrating. But there's a lot to look forward to this year. The rebound for Rhys Hoskins that we're trying to see. The Phillies left a very sour taste in our mouth last year. They were a team that went out there with intentions to be good, to be able to take advantage of a shortened schedule. They were in first place the previous 2 years, 60 games in. They had a really good run last year. They looked like a pretty solid team, and then at the end, they fell apart with a new manager. There's less to look forward to this year. I will admit that. The Philadelphia Phillies last year had a new manager. They were expecting Rhys to bounce back. Bryce Harper's second year here, being comfortable in this lineup. But unfortunately, we know how it all worked out. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Phillies completely toppled over the same thing they've done the last few years. And it's just unfortunate to see because they've been a good team. They've been in contention. This team has been good enough. The Phillies have the best catcher in baseball. They have one of the better pitchers in baseball in Aaron Nola, but he has to have an up year as well. He had a down year last year. Kingery had a down year. Hoskins had a down year. Everybody pretty much, except for Harper, actually, he had a pretty good year. But the rest of the team did not do their part. So today, I'm just looking at the lineup right now. There's a lot of talent on this team. There's some new pitching on this team. There's some new faces in the front office. Matt Klentak, of course, moved out of his position last year. Alec Boehm has a chance to really come back and rebound this year, or at least, improve on his last year. There's a lot to look forward to with this Phillies team. And today, at least just for now, we want to stay optimistic. I want to stay optimistic. There is a lot to look forward to with this Phillies team. They tend to have the Braves number early in the year usually. I'm not going to say I expect a win today because the Braves have just been insane in the last few years, and they're a good team. They're one of the best in the NL, if not the best. right behind the Dodgers and possibly the Padres who are up there. But I don't know. The NL East is going to be fun this year. The Phillies need to be able to hold their own. I think that they will turn some heads. They will bounce back. It's simply put, some of these guys are getting better. It's not just necessarily, okay, they were the same team last year. They weren't. It was the beginning of the pandemic with no fans, of course. It was the heart of it. A lot of stress going on outside of the game. D. Gregorius, of course, he was not fully comfortable being out there with the team, although he was, and credit to him. Of course, a guy like Andrew Mccutchen really never was fully healthy during the season, was able to really be out there on a consistent basis. Reese started to find his groove at the end. It's only 60 games, Gavin. Last year, in my opinion, shows you no indication of what a baseball team is. 60 games, not enough to do it. Last year's got out of all the sports, baseball's got the fattest asterisk because a lot of pieces were still moving, and that was literally 100 less games than what they usually do. The shortest season of any of the leagues that did have a shortened season due to the pandemic. This year is going to be a much more accurate read. We don't know what a Joe Girardi coached team looks like in Philadelphia. 60 games, simply put, not enough. I will sweep last year under the rug, and the Phillies are expected to go out there with the talent they have this year and compete.
Zach, I'm not sweeping last year under the rug, and here's why. In a shortened season for a team that, I'm going to be honest, like they only play half the year anyway. Zach, I mean, let's be honest. The Phillies really only play 60 games, and then we don't know what happens to them. I'm not sweeping under the rug. They should have been competitive, Zach. I had them ranked at the second best team in the division ahead of the Nationals. And that's because the Nationals lost Anthony Rendon, and I wasn't too fond of their pitching Max Scherzer didn't look too high at the start. So I had them ranked second. And guess what? They failed me. They failed me miserably. It's like it was that weekend. I'll never forget. We were talking about, the Marlins, that should be a sweep. We should be 3-0. Oh, no, Zach. We didn't get off to a hot start. Then the virus happened to our team. Luckily, nobody, caught it. But, Zach, you can't sweep something like that under the rug. And they have an asterisk. I'll give it to you. It's not a major asterisk. But there's going to be small one. You're the Dodgers.
100. It's 100 less games.
It's still one fair and square.
It's significantly less. It was significantly less. Baseball was the most affected. It's a long season. If the 160 games didn't exist, the team that won the World Series 2 years ago wouldn't have even made the playoffs the year before. I'll keep it plain and simple. I'll keep it just like that. That is why that last year for a team like the Phillies, maybe not the Dodgers because they were a dominant team and they're expected to be better this year. I expect for a team like the Philadelphia Phillies, with all things considered, I think it's appropriate to not use last year as an argument against why they shouldn't be good this year.
No, you have to. Zach, you bring on all these new pieces. I get it. All right, new pieces.
They're all meshing still. Al, we never solidified third baseman last year. You lose Michael Franco and Cesar Hernandez. You're trying to replace them. Scotty Kingery didn't have a good year last year. Reese was finding his swing at the end. If there was another 102 games, how would Reese's swing would have looked coming out of the rest of the year?
It would have looked awful. Zach, it would have looked awful. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic for a second. Let's be realistic. This team, and the reason why I won't let last year slide is, yes, Zach, new faces, new situations, the stress of going the world. I get all that, all right? I get it. But you still have to do your job. Zach, the same thing happened again to this Phillies team where they played great baseball from the start and fell off. Now, Zach, it wasn't that dramatic as we always – I mean, it was dramatic.
No, last year was more of a consistently slow down.
Exactly. So
5 or 6 games put you in first, like five or 6 game win streak put you in first place.
If the bullpen,
it's just too few games to really gauge for this team.
If the bullpen was not as atrocious as it was last year, right? If the bullpen improves this year, I will buy in more. But Zach, it's hard to buy into when your team is up 10-5 and the bullpen gives up 5 runs in the 1 inning and then you lose. How does that happen? How am I supposed to believe in something that continuously keep happening? And then your closer doesn't want to close the game. He decides to just give up home runs willy-nilly. Like it's like buy one, get one free. It's like that's what it looks like for the bullpen. You get one pitcher gives one and another one gives another one. It's like it's unbelievable how bad this bullpen was. It was ranked last in every category there was that you could think of.
You can't get worse than that. You really can't.
Zach, I mean, the worst is
this year. That's going to be the question: can the bullpen keep up? But the offense has to be consistent all year. I believe they will. Gavin, anything else on this before we do get on to the starting lineups and some predictions for the game today?
The offense was there, Zach. The offense was there in the majority of the games. I want to say maybe 60 game season.
They would hold 3-run leads into the 9th inning, and their pitchers have to give it up.
Exactly. So the
I expect
offense
the
was
pitching
there.
to be better this year and healthier, and I expect with management and everything, there's reasons to believe this team can get better. And last year they were 2 games below 500 that time of the day, but 2 games below 500. I think this year they're expected to bounce back much nicer.
I hope so. I mean, I really hope so. Look, I love this team, but they just make me so irritated because you think about the Ryan Howard, the Chase Utleys, the Jimmy Rollins, and the Roy Halladay, and those teams, and you look at this team and you say, well, wait a minute, they got Bryce Harper, they have JT. All right, so you can look at them, and if you want to compare it to the old team, and no, by any means, I'm trying to ruin what the old team success had, but Ryan Howard was the power guy. All right. Bryce Harper's our power guy. Chase Utley was another guy that we love, that we also love. JT Realmuto, we fought hell and back to have him back here, Zach. Me and you, we sat here and argued till our voices didn't, till we, till our voices didn't work no more. That we wanted JT Realmuto back. But the problem is we don't have like a Jimmy Rollins, we don't have like a Shane Victorino on this team. Our bullpen is a bunch of question marks. Who is one person in this bullpen that you like this year? Be honest with me. I mean, Archie Bradley, that's nice. Jose Alvarado.
Archie Bradley coming in, a couple other young faces, a couple of older faces that haven't played in a year or two.
Alvarado, however you say his last name.
Sir Anthony Dominguez should be back. I guess Robertson's going to be back.
He's pitching this year? Zach, he's pitching this year? Is he just
they're supposed to be back this year. Last year should be swept under the rug because a lot of guys took last year off. Some guys fighting injuries weren't going to force themselves back to play last year. Andrew McCutchen, one of the guys who really never fully got back into it momentum-wise. 60 games, not enough to gauge for a young developing team. If you're the Dodgers, if you're an experienced veteran team, no problems with that. The Phillies had too many moving pieces last year. We'll continue to cover that coming up after this, starting lineups, as well as our predictions and picks for the games, as well as we'll get through some of the around the MLB as some games are underway, as well as some predictions for the AL champion, NL champion, as well as the AL and the NL's MVP predictions. Stay tuned. We have a lot coming up after this.
We are now offering a new product on our Teespring. Wear a mask in public. We are now supporting a custom designed mask with our logo on it. Purchase it today, and 10% goes to a foundation of our viewers' choice. It offers a full nose and mouth coverage, single-sided print, includes 2 2-inch elastic ear loops, non-medical grade product, and finally, $1 from every mask sale is donated to a nonprofit to feed children in need. Enjoy today's episode.
Welcome back here on the More Than Phillies Sports Network. Phillies pregame live. For those who may just miss the last segment, Gavin and myself debating how good the Phillies can be this year and why last year does or doesn't matter depending on what the future of this team can look like. Gavin, let's get started with the away team's starting lineup today. Of course, the Philadelphia Phillies hosting the Atlanta Braves. The MLB keeps scheduling games as if the Phillies are good. They are in the beginning of the year, but we'll start off with their lineup. Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be leading off in right field. Ozzie Albies starting at second base. Defending NL MVP Freddie Freeman starting off at first base, batting third. Marcell Ozuna batting fourth. Travis d'Arnaud, apologize if I mispronounced that, batting fifth. And, of course, shortstop Dansby Swanson at 6. Austin Riley at 7. Christian Pash at batting 8 in center field. And starting pitcher back in the lineup because last year was the DH year, Max Fried, who has had quite his success against the Philadelphia Phillies. Gavin, Atlanta Braves, they're a hitting team. They did very well last year. This is a team that just came up short of making it and winning the World Series.
Zach, you got the reigning NL MVP and Freddie Freeman, and he gave them a confident bat. Now, Zach, my favorite player, if I had to pick one off that team, it would be Acuna, but it wasn't Acuna who was getting all the attention. It was Freddie Freeman and Christian Patch and Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. They brought in major key bats when they needed it the most, especially Marcell Ozuna. I mean, Zach, you look at this lineup, 1 through 9, maybe regardless of pitcher, but you look at the lineup, everybody on this line can strike at any point in time. Ozzie Albies, the switch hitter. All right. You have a guy in Ronald Acuna Jr. that destroys the Phillies whenever he pleases. Freddie Freeman, the lefty killer. I mean, Zach, what do you want me to say? Marcell Ozuna's there too. Zach, they all can give you, and now in the shortened season, remember, Zach, they only had 11 plus home runs. But in a longer season, you're talking about guys that will hit over 20. Acuna will get you 30. Freddie Freeman will get you 30. Or Ozzie will get you 20 plus. Marcell Ozuna. Like, this is a team that will hit the cover of the baseball. And Zach, the best part about this team is they don't blow leads either. Their bullpen will keep it. Mark Melanson, and I remember Mark Melanson, NLCS, came out and dominated the Dodgers in games that he was there and he was playing. You got Will Smith from San Francisco that you got last year. Zach, And they had a lot of opt-outs too. Let's remember that.
Certainly, they're a team that is only expected to get better. The past few years, they've been progressing. Freddie Freeman will only be playing at this level for so long, so they can't really waste that. We'll see. They are certainly making a push for the World Series this year. Will be aggressive at the deadline as well as the period afterwards for free agency pickup and picking up guys in the buyout market. So, a team to keep an eye on. The team that every team in the NL East will be looking up to this year. Now let's get to our home Philadelphia Phillies. Their starting lineup today, a little different than what we've seen in the past, but also similar in some ways. Of course, Andrew McCutchen leading off for the team. Rhys Hoskins batting in the 2 spot. Bryce Harper remains solidified in that 3rd spot. He's been for a couple of years. Batting cleanup, JT Realmuto at catcher. Alec Boehm starting 3rd baseman, batting 5th. Didi Gregorius starting shortstop, batting 6th. 7th, Gene Segura, who will be taking the start at 2nd base today. And then batting 8th, Adam Hazley, the starting center fielder, of course. In the pitching, Aaron Nola expected to have a bounce-back year. Nola pitching today, and then, of course, no game tomorrow. And then Saturday, we will see Zach Wheeler. I do not know who the pitcher is on Sunday, but I'll keep an eye on that. We'll continue to report that as we continue to cover the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a lot to like in that lineup on both sides of the ball. Are they as good as Atlanta? I don't think so. But, Gavin, what are some notables from the Phillies lineup that may surprise you or some things that you expected to be the same?
Well, I expect Andrew McCutchen to have a bounce-back year, Zach. I'm talking about the year that, not his NL MVP year, but the year when we first got him. Zach, remember, he was in the cover of the baseball before he went down with the torn ACL, and the next year after that, you didn't see really much from him. But between Andrew McCutchen and it's going to be Alec Boehm, Alec Boehm's going to take the next step up. He's going to take a major jump up on the offensive end. Zach, we have a lot of people that felt that he should have been NL Rookie of the Year, and I kind of agree with them, Zach. I really do. But
he made a good case. He made
a fair case, but he came up short, sadly. But he's going to take a major step up, and my focus is going to be on the Mr. $330 million man. The pressure's on. A lot of people are throwing you back in the NL MVP conversation. Like, I don't see it yet. I got to see more. I can't sit him and watch him strike out 50,000 times. All right, I need Bryce Harper to go back to his MVP year and do some amazing things. And his defense has been phenomenal ever since we got him. I have to give him that.
You know, he's had quite the impressive assist out in right field. Not really his forte, or at least be known as defensive, but he's been a very great defensive player. He's done his job the last 3 years. Again, $330 million. Big price tag. A lot is expected from you. I think it's foolish when you pay baseball players that much because they can't throw a team on their back the way that you can in basketball, the way a quarterback can in football. But with no hard salary cap, it's fun to see how big some of these contracts get. Waking up this morning, New York Mets sending a huge contract to a player who hasn't even played for them yet. But we'll see how this all rolls. Everybody's making moves. Everybody's getting paid in the MLB. But my big surprise is to see Rhys Hoskins in that 2 spot, as well as Realmuto in that 4 spot. Harper sitting in that 3rd spot. I guess they're comfortable keeping him there. But Rhys Hoskins, he's going to need to have a bounce-back year or he will be on the move. I was talking about last year moving him and trying to acquire some pitching while his value was still high. Phillies have chosen not to. They've chosen to retain him. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Rhys can be the future that we all thought he was in his rookie season and when he went on head-to-head against Bryce Harper in the Home Run Derby competition a few years ago.
My comments for Rhys Hoskins and criticism will stay the same. Be consistent. Be here. You can't go in stretches where you don't hit the baseball. You have to be able to hit
swing. He's got to swing the bat.
He has to swing. Zach, that's the big.
That is literally the only thing that I have. He doesn't swing the bat.
Swing. I think I came on the show in July saying the same thing. Swing the bat. Don't do this. Swing it, please. For everything, just swing the bat. And it's like launch angle and all that. I don't want to get into that. Just swing the bat. If you like what you see, swing it and rip it, and let's see how far it goes. That's all I have to ask for. Because Zach, when he swings the bat like we saw last year, really good with it. Really good with it.
The swing has looked better. He's looked more comfortable. It's a mental thing that he's getting through. I have confidence he'll bounce back. Again, I'm pretty high on the Phillies right now. I've tried to stay reasonably realistic to this point, but I do think the Phillies are better than people think. We'll see if they want to show that on the field. Coming up after this in our final segment is we are within 11 minutes of the Phillies' first pitch. Yes, baseball starts on time, so we do have to be done here at 3:05. But the Philadelphia Phillies will be starting up then. We will be getting some predictions from Gavin and myself as we go through some of the key stats to keep an eye on today as we wrap up today's Phillies pregame live. Stay tuned.
Would you like to know how you can support the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show? If so, head down to the comments on our YouTube channel. You will see 2 links there. The first is our Teespring, where you can see a wide variety of apparel products, including our signature product, the More Than Phillies Sports Talk Show sweatshirts, offered in a variety of different colors, including gray, navy blue, and more. Finally, we have our Patreon page, where you can become a monthly donation member. 10% of all donations go towards an organization of our viewers' choice. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you can't donate, that's okay, because you can always share this.
When you've been used to having good teams in Philly, I'm talking about the Eagles the past few years, they've been favored in most of their games. The Sixers are favored almost every night. Phillies aren't in that situation. The Phillies are the inferior team in the eyes of sports books. Phillies today are not favored. The Braves are at -105. I'll take that. I expect that the game is going to be a defensively good game, but I do think that the Atlanta Braves do pull out a win. I'm going to say 6-4. I think the Phillies jump out early and they blow it late, similar fashion. But I think the Phillies put up a good fight today. I don't think it will be a diminishing loss or a loss that says, oh my God, there's no way they can bounce back. But it will sting because it's still a reality check. The Phillies have work to do and the Braves are just that much better, at least right now.
You're going 6-4, Zach. I'm going to one up you. I'm going 7-5. Like you said, the Phillies are going to come out early, but it's going to be a shootout for a little bit, and then finally the Phillies bats will cool off and the bullpen will take over as they always do. And Zach, when the bullpen steps in, everybody can get it run. It appears. So I'm going 7-5, Zach. The Phillies are going to be hit with reality quickly that this bullpen is still pretty bad. Unless Aaron Nola comes out and shuts me up, Zach. I've been a very harsh critic of Aaron Nola, but I think 7-5 is the realistic outlook for today.
I'm just looking here at Sportsbook Wire, the USA Today base program for picks. Again, -105. We talked about the over-under for this game is 7. Both of us hitting the over with that, so I guess we'll be rolling with that. That odds is, if you hit the over, that's actually favored at -120. Predictions here says 4-2 Braves. So, again, both teams are the aces of the team pitching today. But if pitch counts get up quickly, offense can explode. So, with that being said, Gavin, anything else you wanted to say on this Phillies and Braves matchup before we do get over to around the MLB and see some of the key matchups happening right now and will happen throughout the day?
I'll save it for another day.
Win. I hope that you have a smile on your face tomorrow. But just taking a look here now as we break down a couple of the other games that are occurring live, and we'll also go over some of the games that will be happening later today. Blue Jays and Yankees are tied at 2 in the top of the 6th inning, a score that we have yet to expect. Detroit Tigers over the Cleveland Indians 3-0. Detroit, it is snowing there. It's a really cool sight. That's a rarity in the MLB, but this is baseball in April. Twins and Brewers, bottom second, still 0-0. Pirates currently beating the Cubs 2-1, top of the second. The Pirates are the laughingstock of the MLB, and they're still finding a way to beat that team in Chicago. And then, of course, Braves and Phillies will be on at 4:10, the Battle of Florida. Tampa Bay Rays going to Miami to take on the Marlins. The Red Hot Cardinals going up against the Reds as well at 4:10. Dodgers and Rockies playing today. Diamondbacks, Padres, Rangers, Royals, White Sox, and Angels. And then the 2 late games tonight are the Astros and Athletics. And then the San Francisco Giants and Seattle Mariners. It's going to be a fun day of baseball. First day back in a little bit. We were just talking about, it feels like just yesterday, about Justin Turner being on the field with COVID. Celebrating with the World Series trophy. Fortunately, it appeared that there were no consequences from that, which does not condone his irresponsibility, but that's obviously a story for a different day. With that being said, we are 7 minutes from the first pitch. I'm extremely excited for it. We are messing around with a few different backgrounds. This one here is not permanent. We're just messing around trying to figure out which background works best to support the Phillies. And as always, let's go Phillies. Hopefully they can pull off this win today and maybe be happy on the show tomorrow.
Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you won't see this background for long because the Phillies are going to just make us mad, and you won't see. We'll be seeing red, and so trust me, you don't want to. Zach, I don't know. I'm not. See, you're happy about this year. I don't see it. I can't buy into my stock, Zach. I can't buy into a stock I don't believe in yet. Don't I want to see the numbers? I want to see the outcome first. I got
confidence. It's rare that I'm this optimistic, but
I don't know if I should be.
9,000 fans today, too. 9,000 fans at the game. It's going to be great to just have fans back as we get a reminder that while this pandemic is certainly not over, we are making progress as a country, as a world, as a people. as we, of course, continue the conversation. We are overdue, by the way, Gavin, to come on here and discuss some current events. A lot going on in the world right now. So we'll figure out time to address that and speak about it on here as we continue our conversation. I know we've been mostly sports-focused as of late, but we will continue to do our jobs and talk about some of the real-world issues affecting sports on a day-to-day basis. With that being said, I'm extremely excited to produce Phillies pregame live. It's been quite some time since we've done it. Phillies are up in just a few minutes here. I'm excited for it. Gavin, I know a little bit more realistic than me, a little pessimistic than me, but I'm excited for it. The weather is getting nice. The grass is getting green. And with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching us on Phillies pregame live. Gavin, anything else from you?
Real quick, because Zach, I feel like I've been negative this whole episode. I gotta say something positive. Congratulations, Paige Becker. She won Player of the Year, first freshman to ever do it. So Zach, the conversation starts. Should one and dones be allowed for the WNBA? We'll say that for tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the Phillies game.
And finally, congratulations to the Brooklyn Nets for coming back against the Houston Rockets at home. Congrats that it took you to the last minute in the fourth quarter with Harden and Kyrie and everyone else healthy except for Durant to beat the Rockets, who just came off a 20-game losing streak. Congratulations.
Ignore that because Zach's upset.
Congratulations. Super Team Nets. Everybody look out.
Zach's in trouble right now with his Lakers.
Kevin Durant might not even play. He might get suspended now for some of the things he's been saying, unless that was an April Fool's joke, which I don't think it was. But some comment for saying that, but it wasn't.
I don't know about that one. We'll have to talk about that later.
For sure, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let's go Phillies.
Have a good one, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. In addition, hit that bell icon and set it to all to get reminded of when we go live and when we post excerpts of our videos.